everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Top 10. I'm John Roca.
And I am Matt Nost. We're excited to bring you another week of movie discussion. This time, thanks to the release of Maverick, the new Top 10 movie, Top Gun, rather, movie. But how are you?
I'm good. I don't want to brag, Matt, but they used my quotes for a 15-second promo video for Top Gun Maverick. It's the first time I've been quoted as the Outlaw Nation officially. So very happy, glowing from that when I found out yesterday. So a good thing, because I love that movie and I love the Top Gun franchise. So I'm in a good place today. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
They elected not to use mine.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah.
Even after you'd seen it.
Well, the problem is I'm too close to Tom, so they just felt like it wouldn't be a genuine review. And I was like, guys, I can be impartial about this. And they were like, you were on the chopper that dropped him off on the aircraft carrier.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we don't believe you can be impartial. And I was well, I was clowning him about how he was dressed in the chopper. Does that not count for anything? Those Ray-Bans might have been a little too big, buddy. And, it wasn't enough. I to be perfectly honest, I don't think Tom appreciated all the ribbing, and talked to the producers and was like, if there's any quote we're not going to use, it's Nost. And I was like, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. You got to accept the
yeah. Still, though, I got to hang out with Ham. We watched the movie. It was a good time.
Oh, nice. You and Johnny, huh?
Right. Yep. It's a good time. It's a good time.
Dating someone 17 years is younger. Well, why break the stigma, dude? Why not? Why break the stereotype? Just,
Well, how old is he?
He's 49, or maybe he's 50. She's 26.
She's 26?
Something like that.
Well, I don't know what to say to that. It's a tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time.
An older man dating a younger woman. It's, it's, I'm not going to act as though we haven't seen this literally 7 billion times in our lifetimes.
That's what I'm saying.
Are people up in arms about it?
Yeah, he's 51. She's 33. 18-year difference. And she was on Mad Men for one episode in the last season. She was the hippie girl working behind the counter when he goes to sign up for that yoga shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember her, but I remember the scene that you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, they made their debut at an Oscars party and then showed up at the Top Gun Maverick premiere. Look, it could be love, but I mean, he's a good-looking dude. What are you going to do? It's John Hamm. The rules don't apply, man. It's John Hamm,
Look, I mean, if they're both happy, and
it's in the bubble, dude.
Plus, she's 33.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as though he's dating an 18-year-old.
True.
Who isn't as mentally mature as someone in their 30s. Has grown up, has lived somewhat of a life.
Yeah.
And understands more what they're getting into, as opposed to potentially just being enamored with, hey, this super famous person wants to hang out with me and all that.
Yeah.
So you never know. This could be something that lasts for the rest of their lives.
Probably true. Happy for them.
Yeah.
Happy for them.
We don't bat an eye when Sarah Paulson has been married to, God, who is that?
Holland Taylor. Yeah.
There you go. Who's, 25 years her senior? 20 years her senior?
I don't know. You're right. There's an age difference there.
We're fine with that.
Well, we're just getting to be fine as a society with lesbian relationships. So let's let that breathe for a little while before we start judging age differences in that.
Okay, fine.
I would say in that bracket.
What, Aaron Taylor Johnson?
Yeah, but that's a rarity, man.
I'm just saying it happens on both sides of the coin. It just happens on more of one side than the other.
It really happens more on one side.
Well,
but fair enough. But like you said, as long as they're happy, that's what matters. I was just bringing it up for conversation because you were hanging out with Johnny Hamm. I didn't know.
But she wasn't there.
She wasn't there. Wow, surprising. So she made the red carpet debut, but then did not sit with John Hamm.
Didn't want to go to the aircraft carrier with all the wind blowing around and stuff. And she was like, it's going to be too drafty and I'm going to be cold the whole time, so I'm going to have to like wear a sweater on top of this, and it's going to kill the gown. And apparently, it was a whole thing. And I was like, dude, I get it. My wife brings a sweater to the grocery store. I get it.
Then John Hamm's like, Nost, what are you doing tonight? Come hang out in the premiere. Be my +1 for the movie.
Well, it was Tom hit me up and was like, hey,
okay.
Because I live not too far from a Scientology center.
Oh boy.
So he's like, I can land the chopper and you can just jump in with me here. And I was like, cool. And then we choppered down to San Diego.
It's awesome.
And then got off. And then because everybody wants to talk to him, but it's Tom Cruise at the premiere of Maverick.
Yeah.
So then after Ham was done with his interviews, everybody kind of rushed over to focus on Tom, and we hung out. It was a good time.
Wow. It's a hell of a story, dude. I like it. It's good. It's good stuff. I envy you. I absolutely envy you. I wish I could hang out with Tom Cruise at a premiere. It would be fun.
I should have said something. I would have gotten you the chopper.
No, please.
Although then they wouldn't have used your quote. So it's like a double-edged sword here.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I'll take the quote.
Really? Hanging out with Tom Cruise? Take the quote?
I'll take the quote for now, and then later hang out with Tom Cruise. Yeah, for now, let's establish this, and step by step, everything's processed. So I got no problem with it. So, but anyway, yeah, a nice thing, a nice little.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure that felt fantastic.
It did. Oh, I've been working for 2 years to try to kind of establish that thing as a legitimate outlet, and doing a lot of work on it. And so to finally get a big movie to quote me, and quote the outlet is great. So we'll see if maybe more of that starts to happen, and then I get a little more inroads with publicists and be able to interview people, because I really want to interview people again. It's kind of frustrating that I don't get to interview people again because I'm not on one of those big fucking outlets. It's just frustrating. So I got to figure that out. That's the next goal, so to speak.
Wow.
Anyway, how you feeling about the finals, man? How you feeling? What you feeling here, man? How you feeling about Chuck? What's the deal? What you feeling about everything that's going on in the NBA, man?
About Chuck? What, Charles?
Chuck picking fights with Golden State. Chuck and Shaq going at it about Shaq only ever having 15 bad games in his entire career.
Well, I mean, anytime they have those outdoor things, it's been numerous times where Shaq tries to get the crowd into it.
Yeah.
To chant, Chuck, you suck. It's got a good ring to it. And then Chuck will turn around and say something into the crowd, and they'll love it, and they'll cheer, and then they go right back to chanting. So that's unsurprising, to say the least. Look, home teams won the game ones. So unsurprising. And the Celtics were out without the defensive player of the year, plus their starting center. So 2 starters are out, and they still were leading going into half. They just got absolutely crushed in the third quarter.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
But tonight, both those guys appear to be back. Horford is for sure, and Smart is listed as probable, although Derek White is out for personal reasons.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, whatever that means. And then Windhorst is quoted as saying that a few people in the Celtics traveling party have tested positive for COVID.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So far, it has not bled over into any more players.
Wow.
As far as anyone knows. But yeah, it's like, God, if COVID derails all this hard work.
Yeah.
And if I was the Heat, I wouldn't want this to happen. I'd almost lobby the league to postpone games.
Yeah. Even though they wouldn't. But yes,
yeah.
Right.
Just because I don't want to win like that. Because everybody's going to, you want to play people at their best.
Yeah.
But yeah, unsurprising. And then the Warriors last night handled business at home pretty well. But Luka, I think, was just completely gassed in the second half. The defenses, they kept throwing at Luka over and over. Boxing 1, 3 and 2, man, traps. They were hedging on screens, like just everything. They were throwing everything they could. Just as soon as he would get established, understanding, this is what they're going to give me on defense, they changed it. It was like every 3-4 plays, like boom, we're rolling out something different, and just kept them guessing.
Yeah.
And he looked gassed in the first quarter already, just because he was doing so much.
By the end, yeah.
Yeah. So come third and fourth, when he only has 2 points in the second half, it's like, man, they're asking him to do quite a bit on this. Yeah. Do I think that'll maintain the whole time? No, because I think, as Chuck rightly pointed out, the Mavs were getting wide open threes. So long as they have a game where they're hitting 35, 37, 38%, they can win that game.
Yeah.
So the Warriors were surrendering quite a few good looks. So this could have swung in the other direction, and more than likely will over the course of the next few games.
Maybe the philosophy is that, as like, we just keep bumping them, keep messing with them defensively. It'll exhaust them by the time they get the outside for the free and clear 3-point shot. They're too exhausted to make it. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. But they're mostly expending that defensive energy on Luka itself. So you're just like Brunson, Dinwiddie, Bertans, Kleba. Somebody else needs to make a three here.
Yeah.
Which they possibly can. It will be interesting. I think the East, I could easily see going 7 games. If last night was roughly a roadmap, then I think 6 games and Warriors take it in the West.
Yeah. Were you shocked by the Suns' loss? Did we talk about that already? Maybe we did. Destruction.
It happened after we recorded. That's the biggest ass kicking I think I've ever seen. In a Game 7 closeout when you've been the number 1 team all season long, like by leaps and bounds, the best team.
They weren't unhealthy. They weren't like, it was weird. Just a complete mental breakdown. And you just, why? Like, it's so quizzical because they had played so many of these tight games and Game 7s and, I guess maybe not that many, but like certainly tight games over the last 2 years in the playoffs. It's just shocking that they showed up with an effort like that in a Game 7. I think they almost felt like they were going to win it with ease. And then when it didn't start to go their way, they got all tight, Oh,
yeah. I mean, the Mavs were practically unconscious from 3. And then they had no fight. They just looked dejected and it was weird. And a lot of people are hanging this blame at Chris Paul because he does have the track record of it. But Devin Booker, if you ended up in the MVP discussion because your team was so good, even though technically if you want to go tit for tat, I don't think he is deserving of that. But I agreed with the assessment of you need to reward this team because they've been so excellent in some capacity. But if you're thinking you're one of these alphas and you want to be in the same breath as whatever else, you can't. These meaningless points in the fourth quarter when you guys are down by all this don't count.
Yeah.
Like you played like shit up until almost the end of the third quarter. The leading scorer technically for the Suns was the free throw line. They had made 9 free throws and they didn't have anybody that scored 9 points yet.
That's scary, dude.
Yeah. Even with counting free throws, nobody had eclipsed the free throw line. It's like, dude, where is this team? Ayton looks like he's gone. Although he's a restricted free agent, so they can match his contract. But so long as someone structures it in a way that'd be crippling for the Suns, Ayton is gone.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. But Paul's adamant, I'm not retiring.
I know. He said that afterwards with Booker right there. I don't know, man. I don't know. And because Chris Paul had 1 point going into the fourth quarter. That is
and he got meaningless garbage time points and be like, those don't count. Those do not count. You and Booker, whatever you got in the fourth is meaningless.
Yeah.
Seriously, the final score was 33?
Yeah.
But it felt like 73. That was the biggest ass kicking I think I've ever seen.
It was rough to watch, man.
I mean, there have been more lopsided victories, but in a Game 7, when this team is projected to win it all, and was the odds-on favorite, and wow, that was
crazy.
It was something.
Did you see the She-Hulk trailer? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Hey, I don't know. You got to wow me at this point because all the plus shows, like Moon Knight, I think ultimately was fine.
Yeah,
I wasn't like blown away by it. Loki's been hands down my favorite.
Yeah, same.
And then probably WandaVision 2. And then after that, it's like everything else is kind of fighting for third. So I don't know. Hopefully it's better than that. But who knows? I'm focused on Obi-Wan next, which is
that's right. Yeah,
shortly coming out. So hopefully, God, I hope that's good.
I know, dude. Because Boba Fett wasn't that great, in my opinion, now in retrospect. So except for those 2 Mandalorian episodes in there. But like, if this is not good or only okay or middling, it's gonna be tough because the narrative then will become it's prequels connected, and a majority of the older fans did not like the prequels. The newer the fans that grew up with it as kids now are adults. They love it and they want to reappraise it and make people like these films. Fine. But if this doesn't do well, then you start to attach the prequel stink for some people onto that, and that I think would be an issue that is unfortunate, because I mean, Ewan coming back after all this time, and he's taking a chance, dude. Because if this doesn't work or it's not good, he's just going to experience exactly what he experienced the last time he did Obi-Wan, with the criticisms and the questions and all of that. And that
did anybody blame him?
No, but I mean, you're the actor in it, and the last thing you want is them tearing apart, especially when it's Star Wars. Like, it's different if he's doing like a, I don't know, like an Ocean's 8 movie or Ocean's 11 movie. This is Star Wars, right? This is stuff you grew up as a kid watching and loving, and if you're part of it, it's a great joy. But if the movies aren't good, or the series isn't good, people don't like it, then it's tough to take the criticism, I would imagine. I mean, Portman said she went into a deep depression after she was done with the prequels because of seeing her acting performance and how those films turned out.
Yeah, but I feel bad for him, because they also, like, Jake Lloyd suffered slander.
Yeah.
And that shit isn't right. He's a kid.
Yeah, as a kid.
When that came out, like, that shit is just not right. But yeah, I never blamed any of the actors.
No, right. Yeah.
For it. It was just like, George, you gave him an inorganic stage.
Yeah.
It's like you're reacting to green blocks and everything else. Like, it's impossible.
Yeah. Test ball on a pole.
Yeah. I mean, think of how good these actors are, and you're getting inert performances from them.
Yeah.
And you're the only person that I think I've seen get an inert performance from these individuals.
Yeah.
So the common denominator in this is you, or at least the environment that you put them in.
Yeah.
And I don't want to harangue George either, just because he still gave us this incredible world that we're fascinated by and looking forward to. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine if they want to build upon the prequels. It doesn't mean there can't be something good there.
Right.
So,
yeah, no, totally. That's why you start with Obi-Wan, because universally people feel he was the best thing about the prequels, was his interpretation of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So this looks, but I mean, the trailers look fantastic, and the imagery, the visuals, all of it looks fantastic. So hopefully it knocks it out of the park. And I'll be at Star Wars Celebration next week there in Anaheim, and I'm hoping they do something where they show it to us there. Because I mean, I don't want to watch it in my hotel room on my computer and then do a reaction to it. That would suck. I'd rather watch it on as big a screen as possible. So we'll see. But I'm looking forward to it. And I think they're dropping the first two and then going from there. So that'll be exciting. Because then go ahead, sorry. What?
It's kind of surprising that they aren't offering, hey, the first episode, you can't see it on the big screen.
Yeah, right. You would think. And, maybe there's some secret screening they're going to announce there. But yeah, you would think they'd want people to know what's going on there, and if they're going to be showing it on a screening, or what they're going to do with it, So, yeah, I mean, that's I don't know, something to think about, something to consider, But there's a lot happening, and I'm nervous because I'm like, I don't want to catch COVID. I got boosted. I got my 4th shot last week or a few days ago. But I'm still nervous about going there because I'm sure a lot of people might be infected without knowing it, or sick or whatever. And so walk around with the mask, and they don't have the press situation like they had at CinemaCon, where the press goes into a certain section of the auditorium and there's plenty of seats. You have to stand in line with everybody else. And yes, you're getting a free pass, but the exchanges, they're also getting free coverage for their stuff. So it's like, okay, what's the exchange, So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I want to stand in lines. I'm not trying to be cocky or anything. It's just more like it's annoying and it's exhausting at my age to be standing in lines and all that kind of stuff, So, but I'm excited to be going. I just hope it's a fun experience.
Well, yeah, good luck with that. Hopefully it's I don't know what exactly to say, but
right, fair enough.
It's a successful endeavor. You get all the Star Wars you possibly can out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll see a bunch of people that you haven't seen in a while and whatnot, and get to hang out, and that'll be fun.
You know what I was thinking about? I was watching the Triumph, the Insult Comic Dog, his thing from back when the first prequel, when
was it Phantom or was it Attack of the Clones that he was out?
Was it Attack of the Clones?
I think it might have been Attack of the Clones.
Well, he was.
I've watched it before too. I just revisited a couple months ago.
Yes, I watched it 2 or 3 days ago. Listen, I know I get it. People could look at it and think it's bullying. It's funny. It is very funny because he's not mean spirited. He's going for the broad jokes, and they work. They're very funny,
Yeah.
and the people seem to be taking them in good humor. So then the other side of it is, I would love to do, or Conan did a Where Are They Now? Checking in with all those people that were in the line. Did that woman have her baby? What's her baby doing? Is he a Star Wars fan? Like, did these the couple that was married there that you see in
Mm-hmm.
did they stay married and whatever, the few nerds that really stand out that they talk to, Star Wars nerds. I would love to like have them check in with them again and see where they are, if they, and maybe even rewatch sections of it to see their reaction now all these years later.
Well, Conan doesn't have a show anymore. He's got his podcast.
Right. Son of a bitch, I forgot about that. Yeah.
But his podcast is audio. I don't know if he does. I'm sure there's a slight video component to it, but
yeah, that's how Paul got him. Remember Paul? Did you see that clip of Paul Rudd getting him by playing?
Oh yeah. Because he's like, this is an audio show. Like, what are you doing? And he does Mac and Me for the 25th time.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's a good idea. Like whatever the next big Star Wars movie is, although they said that they're going to move away from the Skywalker saga, which is, I think, smart ultimately for the overall health of it. You got to expand beyond. Otherwise, we're just regurgitating the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah. Skywalker.
I
agree. But yeah, the Vanity Fair article was really great. Yeah, a little bit of a puff piece, but it still was a lot of fun to read what their intentions are with these series coming up. So I'm excited. And I'm sure we'll get some stuff next week. That'll be fun. So, all right. Should we get into the show?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're counting down the top 10 fighter plane movies. Is that right, Matt? Fighter plane?
Yeah, fighter plane movies in honor of Maverick coming out.
Yes.
So basically just the movie needs to have fighter planes in it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That was the qualification.
That was the only thing. It doesn't have to be like we're focused solely on. Now, I tried to go with that personally.
Right.
Where that's a bigger part of the movie as a whole. But that I've got, I guess, one slight exception.
Okay.
But you'll see why when we get to it. But yeah, just try and focus on, cool fighter plane movies.
Yeah.
So it can span anything from, if you want to go back to World War I.
Sure.
All the way to, modern day jets.
Yeah.
Go bananas. I don't have anything from World War I personally.
Oh, that's a shame. Okay.
Do you?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
For our older listeners.
Well, there's like a German movie about the Red Baron that I've never seen.
Yeah, there is.
And there's a couple others out there that focus on that, but I skew towards stuff with dogfights, stuff with the aerial action.
Yeah.
And then I kind of weighted my list.
Okay.
In that regard too, if I enjoyed the dogfight a little bit or whatever, aerial action.
Yeah.
Just kind of like scooted those up a little bit or whatever. That's how it's.
I like it.
It's a little all over the place, but whatever. It's my list.
Let's have fun. All right. So the way the show works is Matt and I come up with a topic, or one of you all suggest a Boss Hog topic, and we go on our own separate paths, come back with our separate top 10 lists. We don't tell each other our lists until the show starts, and we count them down 3 at a time till we get to the 5. So we go 10, 9, 8, 7, then 6, 5, and then we go 1 at a time through the top 5. We'll take a break in between the bottom half of our list and the top half of our list, and then we'll combine them at the end. So, Matt, please start us off. What do you got at 10?
At 10, I put Dunkirk.
Ooh, nice choice. Shit. All right. I'm taking mine off. I'll say Dunkirk. I like it. I'll put it there at 10. I'm officially putting it there because I forgot about the Tom Hardy sequence in that movie. Great point.
We've got they have 2 separate dogfights in it, and I think those are some of the most beautiful shots because there's such a calm stillness while they're just flying and trying to take out these German fighters that are going after the merchants that are ferrying troops and whatnot.
Yeah. It's a great sequence.
Yeah, the shots are just exquisite. Could be some of my favorite stuff in the movie. And personally, I think the movie's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I know a lot of people love it, and it was their favorite movie of that year. And more power to you. It didn't resonate with me in that way. And I like you and many others are big fans of Chris Nolan.
Yeah.
So I was eagerly anticipating this, and I saw it at the Cinerama Dome. And those aerial fights and whatnot just looked majestic, projected on this huge screen, and you could really feel like the gunfire, but also then the calm stillness after, like when the one plane flies down and has to ditch into the water, but Tom Hardy is sitting on his wing. I think it's a dude from Slow Dogs. If you've seen that show.
No.
I think he's the pilot in it, so he's the young agent lead in Slow Dogs.
Okay.
I believe they're the same.
What is Slow Dogs?
The Gary Oldman MI5.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
Espionage. It's only 6 episodes. It was good.
Okay.
I think it builds upon like, oh, okay, this could be like,
okay,
it's Tinker Tailor-ish.
Yeah. If you like it, the show like that, then I'm excited to watch.
Yeah.
I know shows like that. Usually if you like it, I like it too. So I will absolutely watch it now. I was kind of on the fence on it because I hadn't heard too much buzz. But if you say it's good, then I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's not the full Tinker Tailor, like with the intrigue, the back and forth, the this, that, and the other, but it's got a little bit of that. It's got a little bit of action.
Yeah.
And it's a nice blend for television. It's only 6 episodes.
Perfect.
And I think it projects to be, if they let it go like 3 seasons, this could actually build to a pretty cool arc, I think, overall. I can't imagine it goes much more than 2 or 3 seasons. Although they've already, it looks like, shot some of season 2 because they do a preview at the end of the last episode of here's what's coming up on next season. So yeah,
I'll just put it on my list to remind me.
Yeah, I'd say it's good.
Cool.
But anyway, so there Hardy's on his wing, and just like the look between the two of them as he slowly descends and then just skips along the top of the water when he crashes, but the juxtaposition of the calmness of the two of them seeing and just what had transpired and in the midst of this massive global war. But the shots are just beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I remember it being a huge deal when it came out, everybody loving it so much. And then when I went to see it, the screening, and seeing the Tom Hardy sequence, that was great. Yeah. Does it defy the laws of physics, how long he's hanging out there?
Yeah.
Sure. But you're still getting to see Tom Hardy act and really kind of see the progression of his emotions as what is going to happen to him dawns on him slowly but surely throughout the movie. And I think that's great, and I love the sequences. I love the fighting sequences and what happens there, and seeing the real fear in the eyes of all those actors there as they're playing the soldiers on the beach. It's really fantastic, especially when the fighter jet stuff kicks in. You're just like, oh my God, this is insane. How the hell did they ever get all those people off the beaches? It's mind-blowing to even think about, so yeah, great stuff, dude. And yeah, like Matt said, I feel the same way. It's an okay movie. I wish it was better. I wish there was someone you could fully connect to that was the protagonist. For me, that's the problem. We switched protagonists and we were all over the place, and I needed to feel the story of one person and kind of connect to that, and then I can connect to everybody else. And it just felt like it was a bit all over the place in terms of the protagonists and who you were following, and that was frustrating.
Or at least here's the face of the boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Here's the face of
yes, good point.
High command or something, and so we can flash around to all these others, but yeah, someone to lock in on and fully identify with.
It's kind of 1917, right? 19 gives you those two guys. Then what happens, and then you see who represents the high command or the positions and people in certain positions, and you're aware of who that person is. So you cast someone that's notable, so that immediately stays in your mind as you watch that those sequences. So
yeah.
Okay, what's your 9?
My number 9 is it's going to be a punt.
Okay,
so get ready for the indignity and slander I'm about to throw your way.
Oh my God!
Which is Independence Day.
Ooh, yeah, that's a punt. That is absolutely a punt.
Look, it made my list, which is saying something on some level.
I don't disagree with you. That's pretty incredible. It's very magnanimous of you.
It's got good fighter. It's got good jet scenes.
It does.
It does.
It absolutely does. I'm back. Yeah, it does. It does. What's your 8?
My 8 is Bumblebee.
Ooh, nice choice. Wait, because of...
Well, you've got So the
Yeah,
fights
the
on
Decepticons?
Cybertron, but then they
Okay.
get to like there's the fight with Bumblebee early on. Come on, you got
Ooh,
Starscream.
you do. Yeah.
It's got
Shit. Okay.
Jet. It's the only
Oh,
Transformers that I am fully a fan of.
yeah, yeah.
Although I think the first one's got some moments. I think it's all right. Um, and then after that, it's just like, I got to cherry pick
Yeah. Yeah.
what I like about these, and that's saying something.
Right.
Um, whereas in Bumblebee, it's like after seeing all these, for me, missteps, to see one fully executed, to hear Starscream's voice like I was
Yeah.
anticipating, to see Cybertron and this big, huge battle on Cybertron as Transformers are flying in and they're fighting on the ground and they got to do those jettison pods to get out of there as Optimus holds off the enemy with just enough time. It's like the perfect encapsulation of the cartoon
Yep.
personified and come to life on the big screen. Um, and then it was really what kind of sold me on John Cena.
Oh, yeah. Right. He has a couple of fun scenes in the movie for sure.
It's got the best line in it. Like they have Decepticons, they're called Decepticons. Like, am I the only one that sees this? I was like, that is so great. And he played it beautifully.
Totally.
And then after that, I did Blockers come out after that?
Yeah, Blockers was after that. Yeah.
Okay. And then I saw Blockers in the theater. And I was like, dude, this guy's got something. I mean, he wears shorts a little too much for me.
His jorts. Yeah.
It's just a little bit too much as a grown man. But I also realized it's got to be tough to find pants that fit those legs.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Like everything for him has to be tailored at this point.
Just like The Rock. Everything's tailored for The Rock.
Yeah, has to be. That there's nothing you could buy off of a rack that is going to fit your body because the human body is not supposed to look like that, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks that it didn't do the money that all the others did, which means they are going to depart and go back to the formula that worked in the past.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is, it's a capitalist endeavor. I understand.
Yeah.
It just, you would hope that the merit of this being a more enjoyable film overall, I think it's just more palatable for a wider audience. And yet that doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah.
And who knows why it didn't resonate as well? I don't know, because it still has a bunch of the Transformers explosions and action and everything like that.
It does.
Maybe it's having a young female lead.
Maybe.
I don't know, but at the same time, there's been tons of action series that have female leads that have been wildly successful. So
Captain
I don't know.
Marvel crossed $1 billion. Wonder Woman had $700 something million.
Aliens, the Terminator franchise, there's been several.
I just don't know if Haley is the lead. That, like, she worked for Hawkeye because that's, like Dickinson, the show she. I think Haley is a good actress, obviously great in True Grit and what have you. But I mean, Jeff Bridges is the reason you go see True Grit, and so, but she's certainly great in it. I don't know if she's the lead to get people to put butts in seats, and I don't know that it's enough. And I'm not saying Shia LaBeouf was that either, but you got Michael Bay and Shia LaBeouf. That's a combo that's strong. Plus the Transformers, rather, that's a combo that's strong. But on the other side of Bumblebee, you've got Travis Knight, who isn't that well known, and Haley Steinfeld, who isn't that well known. And then you got only Bumblebee. You put just one Transformer in the title, and I think that makes people kind of hesitant. But, it made good money. And yes, I agree. It is the most complete and best Transformers movie, including the original one from Michael Bay. I don't include I should include the animated, because the animated at times is really campy to watch.
Oh, yeah. The Eric Idle in the trash with the song.
Casey.
Look, I love it because I was a kid when I saw it. It reminds me of that, but it's got some moments.
Yeah, Scatman Crothers stuff. Yeah, it's got some moments, but this is the most complete one, yet it didn't do as well financially as the other ones, which is why Bay is back for this Beast Wars and whatever, as a producer, not a director.
Yeah, so but we'll see. We're gonna have Bay. It's gonna be a Bay story, which is the disheartening thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because Ambulance didn't make that much money, even though a lot of people felt it was the best Michael Bay movie in a long time. So I don't know if maybe the public is done with Michael Bay, or they need Michael Bay on a bigger platform like Transformers, so they can give him their money. I don't know.
I think the title was such a dud.
Ambulance.
Yeah, Ambulance, and then we're making the LA larger so you know it's set in LA, but
Yeah.
how does that grab the attention? Ambulance. Okay. Fantastic.
Woo woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of all the emergency vehicles, it's the least exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, how ridiculous would it be if it was just fire truck? It's just as dumb. At least cop car, like you have an understanding of what's going
Oh
to
yeah.
ambulance. It's like I don't have. What does that mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised that the reviews coming out of that were like, it's really good. I'm surprised.
I saw the Ringer say, "Have we misevaluated Michael Bay this whole time?" And I was like,
No.
"Fuck you,
No.
fuck you! Don't get to go back.
Well, that's
now.
clickbaity.
You motherfucking critics don't get to go back now and say maybe we need to reassess. Fuck you, fuck
No,
you,
no.
nerds. You didn't like him the first time. You don't get to go back and reassess him now.
Yeah,
there are critics and reviewers like me who did like him and understood what he was doing, and you all made fun of us. Now you don't get to fucking burnish your nerd cred and try to go back and say, oh, well, maybe there's a better Michael Bay. Fuck that nonsense.
Dude, he's only had what, 2 good movies?
How dare you? 15 at least.
2 would be my counter to that.
Yeah.
13 Hours and The Rock. What else am I missing?
Pain and Gain is good. Armageddon is good. Bad Boys is good.
Okay.
The first Transformers is good.
Bad Boys, I realize I'm in the minority. Armageddon is fine.
You're an insane
It's
person.
fine.
You're just an insane person. What? I mean, don't make me. Okay.
What else you got so far? In Pain and Gain, you're in the minority on that. And you know it.
I'm not. People
You
like
are.
Pain and Gain.
You are. Well, if they liked it, it would have done better at the box office given the stars that they had attached to it, and it didn't. So
that's not true because
you're in the
Out of
minority.
Sight didn't do well, and that had Clooney at his prime and Lopez at her prime.
That was Clooney at the very early part of her prime.
Early?
And
What?
Lopez had done what? 1 movie before that? 2 movies?
She'd done 5 movies.
You're just throwing numbers out because you know I'm not going to Google it right
Selena,
now.
Money Train, and 3 other for Jack. There were some other movies she did before.
Where she was the lead? Give me the lead where she's a bankable star.
We'll take a look in a second. Bad Boys, The Rock, Armageddon. I'm not going to give Bad Boys 2. No, I'm not going to give you The Island. Transformers, Pain and Gain, 13 Hours, Ambulance. Yeah.
15 was what you were quoted.
You're right. 15. Well, if I include the other Transformers movies, which I personally like because they're fun, except for the second one, then that puts it into the 11 or 12 range. 11 range, I think. But yeah, there you go. So he hasn't directed as many movies as people think. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 movies. 15 movies total. So to have only 3 or 4 not good, it's not too bad. Not a bad percentage. Just saying.
Okay. So Jennifer Lopez.
All right, let's look at the Jennifer Lopez situation.
I've got it in front of me.
Okay.
So we're going to say what?
Follow along with you. So there's no
Post in Living Color.
Sure, yeah, of course. Post
it's a bunch of television shows for a couple years.
We don't count that shit.
Yeah. Money Train, which she was not on the poster. Jack, she was not on the poster. Blood and Wine, I've never seen.
Wesley and Woody is Money Train. You're right.
Yeah,
not on the poster.
Blood and Wine, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's one of those small independent films she was trying to do at the time.
Sure. Selena, I think
that was huge.
Huge is strong.
Bro, that was huge.
Huge is strong. No, I think over the years, more and more people have seen it. I had heard of it. I didn't see it for 15 years or something. I think maybe within the Latino community, it was a big movie.
How dare you?
I think
racist as hell. How dare
it got her seen by the industry.
Yes, that's big.
That's big in the industry.
It is big. That's what matters. Who's going to cast you? The industry. Selena, Anaconda.
Anaconda was a dud. She has no proven track record.
People loved it.
She has no proven track record. The U-Turn was a dud.
Or that's Oliver Stone. Her music is massive.
Okay, but you don't know her as an actress. So then right after that is Out of Sight. So she's not a bankable star.
How dare you?
She's not. Not in terms of movies. And neither is Clooney.
Where do you think she became bankable? Wedding Planner?
Probably.
Or Made Man.
Wedding Planner.
Wedding Planner. That's the one to put her over.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying. Then she gets into after that. Then she's the sole lead of enough and then Made in Manhattan, and that's when then Geely takes her down a little bit. But once she's the sole focus on the poster is when she's a bankable star.
It's true. I'm taking a look at Clooney now.
And that's 98.
Yeah,
so let's see.
You might be right on Clooney too, because Clooney is coming out Peacemaker.
Yeah, he's just off a ER.
But he's well known because of ER. He's massive because of
but
ER.
He's not a movie star.
Dusk Till Dawn is 96.
Yeah.
And then
One Fine Day, Batman and Robin.
But he plays Batman. That makes him a movie star. If he's playing Batman, that's a movie star.
In the movie that killed the franchise.
Yeah, fair. But he's still he's movie star level to be
okay.
That's what I'm saying.
But he's in a movie that killed a franchise.
Fine.
That is not fine. Hollywood is not pleased with that, which means he's not a bankable star.
You just said you didn't blame the actors in a movie for a movie not working. How can you blame Clooney for the movie not working in this situation?
I blame everybody in that one. I think it's
even poor Uma Thurman.
I think honestly, the one that I blame the least is Schwarzenegger. Because he did his assignment.
He understood the assignment.
He understood what he was being asked of him, and Schumacher got weird performances from everybody else.
I think you might be right. I think it's Three Kings where he kind of crosses over, even though that's a smaller film, David O. Russell film.
But it got Oscar buzz and then elevated George Clooney into this leading man role.
Right. Then Old Brother and Perfect Storm was a good combo. And then Ocean's 11, he's in the stratosphere.
Perfect Storm was did well enough at the box office and be like, this dude might have something.
Yep. Good point. Yeah, because Peacemaker was not received well. That was not a good movie.
And it's not a good movie. No. It's not horrible or anything, but it's just not good.
Who was it? Mimi Letter, right? Yeah, Mimi Letter. That's what I thought. Yeah, she's the director of that. Yeah, she just recently did On the Basis of Sex. Oh, and The Morning Show. Wow, there you go. I haven't even seen that show yet. All right, where are we? Got off track, man. Where are we? God damn it. Are we not even out of the bottom three?
We're on to yours.
Oh, really? Finally? Okay, Dunkirk 10. 9 is Memphis Belle.
That's called a punt.
Ooh, nice. I'm glad it's on your list. Number 8 is Hot Shots.
That's also a punt.
Nice. Well, there we go. Let's go. What's your 7?
My 7 is True Lies.
Yeah, I didn't put that on the list. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. That's some racist shit. I didn't put it on the list.
Well, as a red-blooded American, I'm here for it. What are we slandering? Middle Eastern people? Dude, I salute that racist flag.
Terrible.
I mean, it's a moment in time. Could you make that movie today? No, you'd have to change.
Not make that movie today.
You'd have to change a decent amount of it. But I will say the Harrier jet scene with the missile is stupid great.
Right. It's just like the scene in Die Hard when he's jumping onto the jet off the highway. Yeah, it's ridiculously fun.
Oh, Live Free or Die Hard?
Yeah, Live Free or Die Hard.
Does that make my side list? Yes, along with about 50 other movies. I wrote it down because it was just like, all right, any movie with a fighter jet that I can think of or
I
find.
considered it as well.
I put it on the side and I was like, there's better movies.
Yeah.
Although I don't think that one's as dog shit as several others in the franchise.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Yeah, I saw someone slandering it the other day like it was the one set in Russia that came after, and I was like, dude, that's easily the worst in this series.
Period. It goes right off the rails.
It's
right off the rails.
So bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it went from frustrating to I'm just laughing at you on screen.
Very true.
I think this could be the first time Arnie does the balance of action plus comedy in a movie.
Yeah,
because before it had been like it's a comedy movie with like maybe some kindergarten copish where there's a tiny bit of action here and there, but it's a comedy, or he does action.
Yeah,
like Twins, straight. It's supposed to be a comedy.
Yeah,
with some heart to it and whatnot. But this one's got like a little bit of balance, like him fucking with Paxton.
Yeah,
you're playing this for laughs, even though you have big, action set pieces and whatnot where they go and they take down his mobile home and stuff.
Hilarious.
But then on the flip side, like they've got numerous points where it's a full on action movie. Mm-hmm. And it's nice to see him being able to like grow a little bit, show a little bit more of the chops as he's done this more and more. And I guess I need to see it again to see how really truly problematic it is these days. But I remember, over the years having seen it a few times, enjoying it. So I'm going to hold on to that. I haven't watched it in several years, so it could just be modern Amos and Andy. I have no idea.
Oh God, no! No one's saying that.
Well, I'm not saying to that degree. I'm just saying like one of those where you look back and be like, how were we okay with this?
Yeah, that's true.
How is this entertainment?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gotten to that level, but it does. It is a caricature of a Middle Eastern terrorist.
It's pretty bad. Yeah. And so is the Jamie Lee Curtis scene where he's making her strip for his own fucking issues.
Look, dude, she's got to prove her bona fides to be a spy, man. She wants to get in the game.
You bona fide. All right. What's your 6?
My 6 is, so this is one that I brought up earlier.
Okay.
It doesn't have as much jet in it, but Behind Enemy Lines.
Oh, I knew that was going to be on your list, man. I fucking knew it. Go ahead.
Really? You not a fan?
It's not the fan. I haven't seen it, but you put it on a lot of the lists. So you've talked.
I don't think I've ever put it on a list.
Oh my God. Not this again. Not
so
this.
Swear to God, when is Behind Enemy? Fans of the show.
Please, fans of the show, go back and see how many times. Matt's getting old. He's starting to forget things. And I know I've been there. I'm trying I've lived through Matt Nost's age. I know what's happening. So fans who are listening to us.
Dude, you're a decade past my age. And you're telling me that
but
my memory
through your age, so I know what it's like to start forgetting things when you think you haven't brought something up. So
you say it like it comes up every third list.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you've brought it up before. That's all I'm saying.
Behind Enemy Lines, maybe once, maybe twice. I think I'll give you 1. 2 would be, I think over under is 2, and I'm taking.
We need to hire a historian of the show who can put. We used to have people make lists for all our lists. I wonder where that person has gone. That would be great to get it. I got no problem with you put it on the list. I just had a feeling you would put it on your list. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But it just now this
what?
It's come up on so many lists. I knew it was coming. It's like I object to the idea.
Okay.
Not that I'm not against the movie because it made my list.
Right.
I just don't agree with you. So please let us know on Twitter.
Yes, let us know.
At Matt Nost, at the Roca says.
Matt Nost is the only one who can guess my lists and know what I'm going to put.
Yeah,
but if
I got it right
dare to guess his list,
I'm just guessing. Hey, I have a pretty good idea where this is going to land, and I was right. I was 100% right.
Yeah.
Now you were right in guessing that I would have this on my list. Congratulations. That's actually kind of impressive given how many jet movies there are or fighter plane movies there are.
Well, you've brought it up a few times, so.
Now look at this. Look at this. The verbiage has changed here a few times, and then when people bring it up on Twitter, you're like, "Look, I told him he only brought it up like once or twice before." Yeah. I think the over under is 2. So let us know on Twitter. Yeah. Do you agree with my over under?
Not do you agree? Do you have evidence? You can't just agree because you feel like you want to agree.
Who's going to go take the time to go back through 7 or 8 years of shows?
Well, then they can't chime in. That's the way it goes.
You're not going to go back through 7 or 8 years of shows.
No, I'm not. I just
verify your point.
I actually did the shows. I have the memory of these things. So.
Okay.
That's what I live on.
I'm calling bullshit on that.
Fair enough.
Anyway, there's certain weeks we end and I forget what we just talked about.
I know it. I know it.
Well, I'm just saying because we both move on to okay, now I got to go do this other thing, and go do this other thing, and just like what were we talking about there? But anyway,
anywho,
I mean, it really just has the opening where they get shot down by SAM missiles.
Yeah.
It's Owen Wilson, or pardon me, no, it's Owen Wilson, and his co-pilot, who I don't remember who that was, who ends up getting killed anyway. But they're the disputed. It's the war in Bosnia, and they're part of the NATO forces, kind of patrolling the skies and whatnot. And they're flying over the demilitarized zone where no one's supposed to be, and some bad dudes get caught in that area when they shouldn't be. And technically, I don't even know. I don't recall them having been spotted because they're on a reconnaissance flight, but just kind of as a preemptive step, they decide to go ahead and take out the jet. And while the sequence is wildly unbelievable for these heat-seeking missiles, just because as I've gotten older, I've seen more and more fighter pilots on YouTube breaking down scenes. It's actually kind of a fun wormhole that you can go down, and they'll do the legitimacy of this and like what could actually happen. And then you go watch something like that and you're like, oh yeah, this seems wildly unrealistic. There is one moment in the theater, I was like, well, this doesn't seem real, but okay, who cares? But it's a fun scene. You got two missiles trying to chase him, and they're flying around, and the footage looks amazing. And it's a modern film. Then after that, he is behind enemy lines, and he's got to get out.
Yeah.
And it's him fighting his way through without trying to get killed as a lone survivor of this plane crash.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. I got to watch it because it's that one and your other film that you bring up all the time, Rescue Dawn.
Rescue Dawn, yes, has definitely come up on like probably 8 or 10 of my lists.
At least 30,
okay.
maybe 30. Maybe 30. I mean, we've done.
Once again, very Trumpian of you. Just throw out numbers you can't back up.
People say you brought it up all the time. I don't know where I heard it, but people say
all the movies.
Oh,
all the lists
behind enemy lines. Yeah, right. Oh my God. What if I was ever to come back, which I'm not, but what if I was ever to come back as Trump to the Trump law? Trump law would be brilliant. Oh my God. All the belts, all the records. That's what I'm here for. All the lists. I'm here.
Perfect. Well, you just declare yourself winner, even though you've lost.
I'm the champion.
Totally won this.
Everyone knows it was rigged. I'm the champion. Do the recount. It's clear. The fix was in from the beginning. I am the champion. Give me my belt. It's ridiculous.
Well, who's your Dr. Oz that you're currently telling? Just go ahead and declare yourself winner.
I don't know.
Do you have anybody else that you bring?
Yeah, I'd have
someone else back
with controversial opinions, but who completely does a 180 just to be elected. I don't know. I don't know who I can find. Dude, it's fascinating. I know we're not a political show, but it's fascinating how that son of a bitch said all kinds of liberal shit on his show, doing tweets, all this kind of stuff. And then Trump puts his fucking hat on him. It's like the NWO. All of a sudden, everything's washed away, and you're no longer a mid-carder. Now you're one of the stars because you're wearing the 3 letters on your shirt. And that's what they did to him. And I'm like, this is fat. And that son of a bitch sold his soul to the Trump just to be able to be in a position of power, just to be elected into a position of power to run possibly and win.
Welcome to power, baby.
Yeah, man, it's nuts to me, dude.
Look,
I mean, I don't know.
Trump was a Democrat his whole life until recently.
Totally. He donated Hillary's campaign. Yeah, absolutely. It's just mind blowing. People like, I'm not going to pay attention to that. Fuck it. Whatever he tells me to do. And it's like, what? Just crazy, man. Just crazy. Anyway, let's not get too deep into it. I know we don't get too deep into it. All right, let's move on to my number 6, and that is Iron Eagle. What?
Do we do your 7?
Oh, my 7. Sorry, Iron Eagle. 7. Iron Eagle is my 7. I apologize, Matt. Yes.
I thought about it.
Remember the Iron Eagle? Is it a punch or is it on?
I thought about it, but then I was like, Tim Thomerson is the dad. You know what I mean?
Dude, but at the time, was it 1984 when this thing come out?
I agree with you. When I was a kid, I thought this was shit.
Dude, come on. This and Last Starfighter were the two.
Last Starfighter, I will agree with you, even though I literally watched it in the past 6 months.
Yeah.
And it's not good.
Oh, no.
I still love it.
It's a tough hold. Yeah. It's a nostalgic love that you have for it. Yeah. But this was
Iron Eagle for me is like, well, Top Gun is Coke. Iron Eagle is Kirkland. It's like, I can just go have a Coke, you know?
Not even Pepsi. It's Kirkland.
Yeah, it's Kirkland, dude. It's not even. It's like that. It's like all the different offshoots of Dr. Pepper, and there's Mr. Pibb, and those are like the 1 and 2, and then after that, it's all the knockoffs. There's like a million Dr. Peppers. That's what you get with these, like Flight of the Intruder. It's like
but the irony is they both came out in the same year, and Iron Eagle came out first.
Wow, really? In my head, it came out like 2 years later.
Yeah, I know. It came out in January of 1986, and Top Gun, I think, is May 25th of 1986. So that's why they just had Top Gun Day or whatever is going to be coming. That's why they're dropping the sequel. Yeah, next week. So, kind of crazy that they both came out in the same year, and Iron Eagle was first almost.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed this film and nostalgia. And Jason Gedrick, I thought he was going to be big, man. I immediately liked him. He had a great vibe. I thought for sure him and Cruise would be battling for years in the 1980s. It never really happened for Gedrick for whatever reason. I did like him on Murder One, that first season, I think, of Murder One. And whenever he's shown up and stuff, I've always enjoyed him. He's a good, solid actor. I thought he was great here. He was a great protagonist. You totally connected to him. Louis Gossett Jr. still kind of, playing that military mentor like he did in Officer and a Gentleman a few years before this movie. So having him come in and kind of training the kid to avenge what happened to his dad and all of that, I thought that was really cool because it's so crazy to think about this movie because it does have shades of Top Gun within it, being trained, the hotshot pilot. There's no best friend type of situation, but there is the dad-son dynamic that's going on there throughout the movie as well. But I love the fight action sequences. They're fun for what they are. I like Gedrick and his character in the film, his emotional kind of makeup, and Louis Gossett Jr. is just so great being the mentor there for throughout the film. So yeah, and it's crazy. It's kind of they're dealing with stuff in the Mediterranean Sea, and there's a military called Billion Military that's responding. So all of that he's got to go and confront. But I dug it. And in the end, he takes care of business there. With Louis Gossett Jr., with Chappie, as he's called, and his dad. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just can't.
All right, fair enough. Let's move on.
Yeah, I never liked Gedrick.
Wow, really?
Nope.
What was it about him that you didn't like?
It just didn't feel like a movie star to me.
Okay.
Even as a kid, it was just like, he's not as captivating. So I was not shocked when his career never took off to that degree.
What's crazy is to go back and see that David Suchet played like the villain. The future Hercule Poirot was the villain in this movie, so it's hilarious to go back and see that. Okay, let's move on to my number 6, which is The Right Stuff.
Okay, what
Sam
are the
Shepard? Sam Shepard's flying, and they're all jet fighters. They're all
fighter pilots.
Pilots, and there are sequences with Sam Shepard in this fighter pilot and what he's doing, and they're in the training.
Chuck
and all
Yeager,
of that.
he's just flying that experimental X2 plane or X3 plane or whatever it is.
It all counts for me.
That's not a jet. That's not a jet plane or fighter plane. They're fighter pilots. Find me the fighter plane in this movie.
It's a lot. It's there. You gotta look for it.
It's not. It's non-existent. There isn't a fighter plane in this that's doing anything fighter planey at all.
We see flashbacks of them doing the fighter planey thing.
I think you're stretching this pretty thin, my friend.
Well, it's my list.
Do I love The Right Stuff? I think it's brilliant. I think it's a fantastic movie, and I love that the ending is not some big hurrah. Like I think it's a pretty flawless movie.
Yeah. Well, you're right. It's a little bit. It drags a little bit near the end, but yes, overall, a great.
Yeah, I would cut some of the Yeager stuff.
Okay.
That's where I think it drags down a little bit. With him longingly, but Chuck Yeager was a much larger figure in pop culture than he's looked at now.
Yeah. Well, what do you think that fighter jet is for that they're flying? It's for military usage. It's for fighter usage.
Eventually, but as it's currently constructed, it turns into like the SR-71. They use that technology, but okay.
It's the X-1 they're using. I mean, that's the whole film starts with the one guy dying trying to fly it, and then Shepard gets, not Sam Shepard. Sam Shepard, yes, but like Chuck Yeager, Chuck Yeager. He gets into it, tries to break it with Bob Hershey watching and all of that.
It's not a fighter plane. It's an experimental jet.
It's going to be used in the military.
If you're telling me it's like a V2 rocket that's basically just a guided missile that a man is in, yeah, I would agree with you. But it's just meant to go as fast as possible, and they're just trying to learn from it. There's no fighting capabilities.
I wasn't there. I don't know what they were thinking about. Other than
I'm pretty sure you can find accounts as to what the entire intent of that.
I'm sure it was military based
program.
It wasn't just for shits and giggles. Let's see who can fucking break the speed barrier. I think they were doing it so they could use it in military.
But not everything. Okay, so
everything is military connected. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but just because it's military connected doesn't mean it's okay. I just think it's a difference of the intent of the program is to expand the capabilities in other areas,
so they can use it to bomb countries or to defend the country in some way. So those planes that they're flying at the beginning on a military base that they're testing out, they're going to turn into fighter planes in one form or another. I mean, that's how
potentially they don't even know if
Sell
they'll be able to harness it and use it in that capacity. So basically, what you're saying is because someone can crawl, they can run 100 meters at a.
The intention is to run eventually.
Yes,
That's what I'm
doesn't
saying.
mean you will get there.
No, but
It also means
what does it
doesn't mean
matter?
you
It
can
doesn't mean-
weaponize this. This is just a program to see what we're capable of, not
because
whether or not
we
it can
want
be
to
weaponized.
weaponize it. Because we want to weaponize
We
it.
want to, but doesn't
Yes.
mean we know we can.
Who cares? It's about a matter of we want to do
Okay,
this,
but
so we're going through the test.
where is the
to see
fighter
if we can.
plane?
That is the fighter plane that they're testing. That
it's
is the
not.
future fighter
That-
plane that they're testing.
They're testing something that could potentially be used in a fighter plane.
Oh my god.
They're not testing an actual fighter plane.
It's a rocket powered X1 plane. They are trying to get that thing to break the sound barrier so that they can send it when they need to send it to bomb or attack or shoot or kill anything. They're not putting people in that fucking thing to take them from like to London in a couple of hours. It ain't the Concorde. That's not what they're doing. The military is not going to create planes for commercial usage. That's not the logic there. It's always to use it for weaponry or as a weapon itself.
But also they had a mind control program that they tried to weaponize as well, and it went nowhere.
Yeah, but it was if I was doing mind control movies, I would qualify that movie to be in a mind control movie as a mind control movie.
Sure, but then, yeah, but now, okay, that's a different argument. But then you're saying the eventual weaponization then trickles down to the inception, like where it began from.
You can keep fighting this. I'm telling you, it's not coming off my list. And the reason is because that opening is absolutely all about them flying a plane, a fighter plane. It's even designed to look like a fighter plane to break the sound barrier.
It's
break
designed to break the sound barrier. That's what it's designed to do. It's not designed to fight at all. It's designed to, we need to make something that is basically just a rocket with wings to go as fast as we can to see if we can break the sound barrier.
What for shits and giggles?
Part of it was, can we do it? We need to do it before the Russians. Yeah, honestly, the accomplishment of
the country. Yes,
yeah, kind of, but it's mostly just it's a dick measuring contest on some level.
Sure, but it's a dick measuring contest, so your dick doesn't get shot off by the other guy.
Yeah, well, because potentially you could use this eventually to do something. They develop all kinds of things that don't go anywhere. It's like, maybe we'll be able to use this somewhere. Let's put some money into it.
I would love to see the programs where the military spent a shit ton of money on planes just for shits and giggles. I would love to see that.
Ah, dude. Okay. Well, modern military spending, there's quite a few of those.
That's a different situation. Modern military spending, because a toilet that's $300 is a different conversation than millions and millions of dollars being sunk into a plane that they know that they want to weaponize down the road. This is the initial stages of how a fight.
Yeah, it's the proving ground of what potentially could be, but it's A does not equal B in this.
It does.
It doesn't.
Because it doesn't make any sense. Why would you even do it if you're not going to weaponize it if you're the military?
Yes, but you need to be able to prove that you could do it first.
Right, and that's what they're working out here.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it a jet fighter yet. It doesn't.
It's a fighter plane.
It's a test plane to see if it's potentially possible to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Look, go ahead, espouse your love of the film.
No, we just wasted all that time arguing about it. So it's a great movie.
Did we waste it?
A break.
Or do we make for great content?
I don't want a 2-hour show. So let's take a break.
That's probably true.
Yes. Let's take a break and then hear from our sponsors. And we'll come back with our top fives right after this. Okay. Thank you to those sponsors and thank you to ourselves for voicing those sponsors. Let's move on to our number 5, Matt. What do you got?
At 5, we got the punt from earlier, Hot Shots.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Since it's higher up on your list.
Lloyd Bridges is nothing short of brilliant in both of those films. But he is so good.
Oh, yeah.
In this movie. So good. The funeral where the honor guard starts firing and he has some weird flashback and he starts firing at them. He throws a grenade. People are running off. They're on the aircraft carrier and he falls down the stairs. He's like, I meant to do that. And then he makes up some
through the ears thing.
Yeah, there's that. And then the guy was like, he pulls out the earplugs. He's like, we have that. And he's like, oh, great. And he swallows those like pills. Like, oh, let's see if that helps. he's got the discussion about was it the soup or the duck? Which one is the one you shoot? And he's like, duck. And then he slaps his head on the table because he thinks the guy tells him to duck. He plays so many serious moments just for perfect laughs, talking about the number of sorties he's flown. And he's like, I got shot down on every one. I've never actually landed a plane. And just never breaks. He's delivering it the same no matter what. It's really impressive. It's great comic timing.
Yeah. It works so well.
Yeah, and there's tons of jets flying around, but it's the only comedy around the military that I can think of like this.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen is great in it as well, doing what he's doing, him and Ballerina Galino and the back and forth that they have. I think that. Oh no, she's in the sequel. Sorry, Charlie Sheen is great in the first one, right? All the stuff that's going on with. I think it's John Cryer, right? Is she in the first one? Okay.
Yeah, she's on that horse, and he sees her on the horse.
Right.
And then
isn't Rowan Atkinson her like boyfriend that he's trying to save? I thought he was Mr. Bean.
I don't remember that, to be honest.
Let me see here, because I'm pretty either that or he's in the sequel. I'm pretty sure he's in one of these movies. I just can't remember if he's.
I'm like, he's got like Cary Elwes, John Cryer.
Yeah, with the big thick glasses, John Cryer.
Lloyd Bridges, Lieutenant, is a great actor. He was in Transformers. He was in Dave. He was in.
Oh yeah, Kevin Dunn. You're talking about
Kevin Dunn.
Yeah, he's great.
No,
it doesn't look like. So maybe he's in the sequel then. Or I'm not going to say it. Never mind.
What's that?
Nothing.
Come on, say it. Let's get into our third fight today.
Our third. What was our second one?
Just I bring up behind enemy lines all the
time. Oh, that's right. No, yeah, he's in the second one. That's right. Okay. Yeah, it's Rowan Atkinson's in the second one. Galina is in both. You're right. I thought she wasn't. I thought she was in one or the other. So, yeah.
Second one's got the great scene too, where
oh my god,
Charlie and Martin go past each other on the boats. Great scene.
Wall Street. So great.
Yeah.
But yeah, this film is still good. Still holds up. I think I saw like half an hour of it a few weeks ago and just was laughing my nuts off still watching it. So
yeah, it's got a lot of stupid jokes, but there's also a lot of it's the shotgun message or approach where it's birdshot and they're firing a lot.
Yeah.
And they're not going to hit on all of them for you. But when they do, it's going to land and be effective.
Yeah. This is ironically, and this is what, right around the time where Charlie Sheen stops being necessarily a bankable guy, and it's ironic that he would make fun of a Tom Cruise film because now Tom Cruise is, of course, by that point, ascending into the stratosphere, and Charlie is not. And so he kind of does a couple of these, right? Because he also pops up in Loaded Weapon, and they does the Hot Shots Part 2. Yeah, but then he starts to, but then he's like, one of the three for the Three Musketeers. Then it's The Chase Nobody Saw, Major League 2, which was terrible. Terminal Velocity, not good. Arrival, not good. So yeah, this is basically right around the time when Charlie starts to.
I think Arrival, there's a decent movie in there somewhere. If they reshot that and redid it, I think that could be.
No, you might be right. I went to see that in the theater. I remember that.
Really?
I thought it might be good. Yeah, I was like in the middle afternoon, so it was on a matinee. And I like Lindsay Krause, so I was like, this is an interesting combo with Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Krause. And then the film was not good. It was weird. And I remember the designs of the aliens with
the knees bending backwards.
Yeah, the knees bending backwards. Yeah, I was like, ooh.
But they're raising greenhouse gases and whatnot to get the ambient temperature up, and then using SETI, those big, huge.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, satellite arrays, the big dishes and all that. Is like, it's a cool setting.
Yeah.
There's something interesting in here. Just the movie it's not good.
Yeah. Okay. So then my 5 is the punt from earlier with Independence Day. That's my 5.
Okay.
I mean, great stuff here, right? I mean, the Randy Quaid stuff alone is worth it. I know he's off the ranch now, but he was great in the film. And, who would have ever thought that it's just a genius bit of writing here to have a guy who's been probed by the aliens. And of course, people still don't believe that happens. Who knows if it's true or not? But like having a guy like that get a chance to get revenge on the aliens, I thought was genius. The fighter sequences when they're fighting the ships are incredible.
Yeah.
And then Will Smith doing what he's doing with Harry Connick Jr. All of that is a number of fight sequences there with their planes. And then, of course, him showing up, having hijacked one of the essentially fighter planes of the aliens to use for him and Goldblum to inject the virus. So there's so much about this that is surrounding the idea of the use of fighter planes or the usage of fighter planes. So it's so great. Just love the film. People revere it a bit too much, in my opinion, but it's a fun film. People, when the sequel came out, people try to act like Independence Day was the Citizen Kane of action movies. And I was like, don't need to calm the fuck down. It's a fun throwaway. Who's the director again? What the fuck is
Roland Emmerich?
Yeah, Roland Emmerich film that was a blast to watch, and it's still a blast to watch. But it's not like the most incredible. It's not Die Hard, man. So it's like there's just a difference there. And people just kind of convince themselves. These 90s kids sometimes, they drive me nuts. Yeah. These critics that grew up in the 90s, they drive me nuts with the way they revere the 90s films like it's some kind of holy grail and shit. It drives me insane, man.
I think it's like any decade. You got your good ones and you got your bad ones and everything in between. I think when this movie works, it works really well.
Yes.
Yeah. And then when it falls apart, it's just like, I could cut all this.
Yeah.
The First Lady stuff with Vivica Fox is just like, I
don't
care.
With Mary McDonald, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, who gives a shit? And Paxton is the president to me. I don't know how you got elected.
You're insane.
But the dogfight initially, like what culminates in Will Smith punching the alien, that's awesome.
It is cool.
The big fight with like when they fire missiles at the mothership and it does nothing.
Yeah.
And you just see how massive this thing is. Like the certain set pieces and the action at times is exquisite.
Yeah.
I think it falls apart in a lot of other places.
Fair enough. All right. What's your 4, man?
My number 4 is Star Wars.
That is a slight punt. Nice try. Okay. Nice try, guy. Nice try.
I thought about Revenge of the Sith, but I figured I'd go with the original.
Yeah, I agree with you. My number 4 is Wonder Woman.
Okay, go for it.
Because Chris Pine uses his plane to kind of bomb the factory there, and he's a fighter pilot. And remember, he gets caught, and so I love that movie. It's such a great movie, and Chris Pine is so good in that movie. And then in the end, when he's flying the plane to blow up, that's essentially a fighter plane there as well, with all those bombs inside of it, and he blows it up to kind of save everybody. It's fantastic. And so, to me, this is a film that I enjoy for her performance, obviously. And his performance is so good. You want to like him so much. And he brings that energy where he doesn't take the attention away from Diana, from Gal Gadot. It's her movie, and he's happy to be a part of it, and it's so well done. And the things he goes through and the emotional connection he has with his father about being a pilot and doing something and trying to change the world in some way, all that conversation, it's so great. So the fight sequences I really enjoy, and I enjoy the movie overall. So there you go. We've talked about it a number of times. Matt's put it on 3 lists, I think. All right. What's your number 3?
I probably put 84 on even more lists, It's such a great movie.
Oh God.
My number 3 is Tora Tora Tora.
Oh, nice choice. Little World War II action. Please go ahead.
It's amazing. This is not too long past World War II.
Yeah.
And the Japanese consultant on this movie is the guy, he's the architect of Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. Kind of crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now we're going to shoot a movie about how the Japanese orchestrated the attack and started the war in the Pacific. And we're going to go get the guy that actually created the blueprint for the Japanese flying a sneak attack. And it's amazing to go and watch.
Yeah.
Just the shots alone, to see these planes flying throughout, it is magnificent.
Yeah.
And if you're into, war films or historical pieces, I think it's good enough in that regard. I think the movie overall is really good too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because not always does, a film that's regarded from the annals of cinema history as to being one of the greatest, do I agree with? Just like, it seems like a time and place type of situation, or it hasn't held up for me over the years. Whereas Tora Tora Tora, like Run Silent, Run Deep.
Right. Oh yeah. That's a good one. I like Run
Silent. There's a few others that I'm just like, I enjoy the living shit out of that one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Other ones I'm like, it's good. I get what you're saying. It just doesn't resonate for me as well. Whereas Tora Tora Tora, seeing it, knowing that the guy that helped fucking orchestrate everything about Pearl Harbor sat down and helped make this movie, it's kind of mind-blowing and makes me appreciate it all the much more. that tensions had cooled to that degree in such a short amount of time that you can move past it on some level. Now, I am sure there were some people on that set that had they found out or if they knew weren't happy with the situation.
Yeah.
Because that resentment carried for a long time for
Yeah.
quite a big section of this country.
Yep.
And to some degree, that's understandable. You just went to war with another nation.
Yeah. Vietnam was the same way. People were like really kind of how can I say this? Cautiously trepidation. How can I say this? They were really leery of Vietnamese people coming over to this country as immigrants and starting businesses and stuff. They, right after the Vietnam War. Yeah.
I mean, shit. Germans are still the easiest, one of the easiest villains in a movie. It's like, just make them German. Okay, yeah, we'll buy that.
So true.
That's one of the funniest things I saw about the, everything that transpired about Ukraine. Was someone tweeting out, be like, okay, as a German, let me get this straight. You guys want us to invest in our military and just basically build it up and do all the things that we've always been like, Germany, you probably shouldn't do those things. And now we're like, Germany, you definitely should. That's how far the pendulum has swung. But Tor, if you've never seen it and you're a fan of World War II movies, I think this is a go-to and you should definitely see it.
It's fantastic. I like it a lot. Okay, so then my number 3 is X-Men 2.
Sure, go for it. It's on my side, but
they use the Quinjet the jet that they use in the movie, and it becomes a very integral part of the movie, how they're transporting who they're fighting and getting all the stuff that they do throughout the film, and then of course becomes the sequence at the end there when they're trying to stop Dark Phoenix from happening, with Brian Cox chained to the wall there, is pretty awesome. So it becomes an essential part of the, and I know that's a ship or a vehicle that from the comics that people were very much looking forward to seeing, and it worked so well in the movie. So I absolutely loved it. So that's why I put it where I put it. And there are other ones that I considered from superhero movies, but this is the one that I was like, I like this one the best, and I enjoy this one the best. Because I mean, I thought about Guardians of the Galaxy, but they go into smaller vehicles when they go into their battles and whatever, so there isn't that much involved with them. So
that's true. I didn't think about Guardians. I thought, because I guess I kept it more terrestrial on some level, because I thought about Iron Man.
Oh, right.
He has that flight with the fighter jets and these UAV at that point.
Yeah.
But I didn't think about Guardians. Guardians is a good one.
Yeah, I was close on Guardians, but in the end, I just like this one a little bit more. We get more with this, and we get more with the connection with them as well. So, okay. So then, what's your 2, man?
My deuce is Memphis Belle.
Oh wow, that high up. Respect. Go ahead.
I was so excited the fact that it actually got a release when I looked it up on Wikipedia, so I could include it on this list.
Oh yeah, I went to the theater to see this. I remember it got a release. Yeah.
I saw it on HBO.
Oh, okay.
And loved it. I mean, flat out.
Mm-hmm.
I thought all the casting choices, they have all these different characters that are all equally great. Different people in, Modine is the captain.
Yeah.
Billy Zane could be my favorite Billy Zane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I can actually see that, man. Yeah.
Titanic, possibly. It's not going to be Phantom. It's not going to be Zoolander. Like what other Billy Zanes are really competing with this?
I think you're right.
Eric Stoltz.
Yeah.
Harry Connick Jr.
Yep, Harry Connick. This is one of the first roles Harry was in.
Yeah.
Kind of transitioning from like the singing into the acting a little bit. Yeah.
But you really get to kind of jump into what it was like to be on one of these bomber trips, because when those fighter planes come in from the Germans and they all have to rush around and try and pivot their guns to take them out because they're on a bombing run. It's kind of like seeing Fury. I've never seen tank warfare from the perspective of the tank.
Yeah.
So to see it like to live in the bomber and see the confined space, like to get down to that bell housing thing underneath turret, the ball turret on the bottom. Oh my God. When that gets blown off and he's just being held in by a stupid seatbelt.
Yeah.
Terrifying. I mean, the whole thing is pretty fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. And just how rudimentary the technology is.
Mm-hmm.
Like the sites to line up for the bombing, like that could be it. That could be it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know. I'm a big fan of this movie, and then to know that it's based on a true story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't know that you had X number of flights or sorties or whatever you want to call them,
Mm-hmm.
and they were the first to get to their number. And so many, like, there's that one plane. What is it? Forgotten Country. It's
Yeah.
something along those lines,
Yeah.
and it's flying, and another. It's like its first mission. Another plane gets shot down and clips it in half, and they see it, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, all those young guys, and they're all dead." I mean,
Yeah.
you can hear them on the radio screaming for help, and there's nothing you can do. You're impotent to it because you have to finish your mission.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big fan of Memphis Belle.
Yeah, I remember seeing it in the theater because I think it was right around that time, either just before or just after, when that Amazing Stories episode came on that had kind of similarities to Memphis Belle with
Okay.
Kevin Costner being in the lead of that one. So I was very excited to see this, and I was like, okay, it's World War II, it's Modine, like you said, great young cast. You could argue this is an outsiders cast when you look at it because you got Tate Donovan, as you said, Billy Zane,
Oh yeah, Tate Donovan.
DB Sweeney, Eric Stoltz,
Yep.
Sean Astin is
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah, he's the turret.
Yeah,
ball
turret
turret guy.
guy. It's one of those rare Sean Astin films that I like. Harry Connick Jr., as you said, but also Reed Diamond, who was a big part of Rescue Me, and he's been in a number of stuff as well. Then you got David Strather and John Lithgow's in this, and a few English actors are in this as well that are young in their careers at the time who are still working today. So incredible combination of actors, and Michael Caton Jones is the director of this one, who directed a few films that I've enjoyed in his career as well. So I liked this film. It had the proper amount of nostalgia, but also high stakes, and it was a good combo of both. And you could tell, like, when I like that they kind of framed it in the fact that this was their mission to get to that number so they could, like, essentially retire from being put in danger. And the way that they interact with each other as the pressure builds throughout the final battle sequences and all the stuff that's going on there is just great. And yeah, you mentioned the turret being shot out, which is an insane moment in the film. But overall, it just gives you like a nostalgic feeling and connection to these World War II soldiers and what they went through and what they did. And so it leaves you feeling very positive about that, as just Americana, as a piece of Americana. And I love that.
Yeah, it gives you another facet of this massive war.
Yeah, right. Such a great cover, a poster too, with all of them just there with their fighter jackets. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your?
That was my deuce,
right? Oh, so my deuce is Star Wars: The New Hope, from what you said earlier. So yeah, I mean that's a fighter jet. That the X-wing is a fighter jet, and that, or fighter plane rather, and that sequence at the end of the movie, at the end of A New Hope, when he's using it to go after the Death Star, is great. It works so well. Everything that's going on there, battling Vader and his TIE fighter, battling the other, the Black Stormtroopers and their TIE fighters. It's great. So to me, that sequence is so awesome. Yeah, you could argue that there are other X-wing sequences, but this is the one that just is so much fun and works so well. And the conversation with him and Luke, everything that leads up to him shooting that shot to blow up the Death Star is so awesome. So I don't know what more we can say about it.
Well, I mean, Lucas based those shots on World War II footage.
Yeah, right.
Like flying in formation, dropping into the trenches and all that stuff, just as even more added. This is based upon, fighter jets.
Yeah.
Or fighter planes.
I love it. It's great. Okay, so then what's your number one? Is it my number one?
Yeah, it's got to be Top Gun.
Top Gun. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
It was the no-brainer of like, listen, we're doing it for this, but talking about fighter planes, it's the very first movie any of us think of.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's great. And the sequences are still fucking awesome. And still great to watch. And they're even better, the ones that are in the Top Gun Maverick. And people are going to be blown away by it. I'm telling you, man, it got a 5-minute standing ovation at Cannes yesterday. There's a lot of people, a lot of normal critics who would go after a film like this if it was just a sequel that was trying to cash in, that are loving the movie. And I'm going back again tonight as we're recording this. I'm going back to see it a second time tonight because I want to do a spoiler review from it. And I love it. So this film is a huge part of my life, as we've talked about on the show many times. And so it's absolutely number one for fighter plane. They got people to sign up for the military, got to sign up for the Navy and get them all excited. I don't buy the revisionist stuff now that you hear from some of my fellow critics and reviewers who say like, oh, it fetishizes the military. I don't think it does at all. It's very clear about what it is. If these guys are having fun, when you're in your 20s or late teens and you're in the military, ball busting dudes, that's just the game, And so it doesn't, I don't think in any way, because I mean, fucking Goose dies. Where's the fetishizing of the military in that? He dies. There are stakes here. So
True.
it doesn't make it seem like it's like this, this great experience. And the whole time Maverick is this conflicted dude who's having a battle with a guy who's pretty confident and good at what he does. And he's constantly in trouble. So there's no sense of like, oh, this is the greatest place to be and this is a blast. So I just don't understand people who say that nonsense about the film, in my opinion.
Seems fair. All right, so let's combine these bad boys.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. I'll grab the bongos real quick.
All right, so it seems like it'd be Top Gun and then Star Wars 1, 2.
Yeah, sounds good.
And then let's see, Memphis Belle. Where'd you have that?
Number 9.
So that's 2, 9. Hot Shots is 5. What? 8. Independence Day is.
That's my 5.
Okay, that's my 9.
Okay.
And then we both have Dunkirk at 10, and I think that's all we have in common. So let's do Memphis Belle.
Okay.
Technically, Hot Shots beats Independence Day. Then you said Hot Shots was your 8.
It's my 5. Hot Shots is my 8. Yeah.
Okay, so then Hot Shots, Independence Day. And do we want to save Dunkirk for later? Or you want to put it at 6?
Yeah, let's save Dunkirk for later.
All right. So what's your next highest? I have my 3.
I have my 3. Oh shit! Get that coin out, son.
All right. What's your 3?
X-Men 2
versus Tora.
Oof.
I mean, if we're really talking about fighter movies,
we're flipping the phone coin.
I swear to God, it just does that on purpose. But it's all worth it in the end.
Oh, man. All right, fine. What does that put us after those 2?
We have 8, 9, and 10 left.
Okay.
Shall we do Dunkirk here?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. Your next highest?
My number 4, Wonder Woman.
All right. What is? After that, I got my 6.
The Right Stuff at 6. Oh, shit. Are we flipping? Oh, damn. Of course it had to come to this. Of course it had to come to a flip.
All right. Let's try this again.
Try to keep it close to you so you don't have to keep getting up.
I did, and then it bounced and went to the other side of the room. So,
all right.
This one went right under my chair.
What do you got?
Oh, baby. Again, 2 times.
Damn it.
Behind Enemy Lines.
It's a good thing I tried. Oh, man. The Matt knows special. He loves that.
Right. A movie about an actual fighter plane that's got one in it? Yes. Makes it onto the list officially.
I like to believe in people's potential. Clearly you don't. So, all right. Are we ready? Are we good to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. The top 10 fighter plane movies. Yeah. At number 10.
Behind Enemy Lines.
At number 9.
Wonder Woman.
At number 8.
Dunkirk.
At number 7.
X2.
At number 6.
Tora.
At number 5.
Independence Day.
At number 4.
Hot Shots.
At number 3.
Memphis Belle.
At number 2.
Star Wars: A New Hope.
And our number 1 fighter plane movie is
Top Gun.
So
there we go.
All right.
Tune in next week to our next live show. We'd love to have you there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. For
We're
the
also
$10 and above patrons. Yes.
That's right. We'll have our shout outs and all kinds of fun stuff for you people. So thank you for joining us today. You can follow the show on Twitter at Top 10 Show, all spelled out. And on Instagram and YouTube, it is / the Top 10 Podcast with the number 10. So please hit us up. And we'd love to hear from you. And you can follow me anywhere at Matt Knows. Check out Settle the Score if you want another movie-related trivia show, or for NBA action, dropping dimes, but you can find those anywhere you get podcasts.
There you go. Find me at The Roca Says on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, The Outlaw Nation on Twitch, doing a lot of stuff there. My YouTube channel, youtube.com/John Roca Says, and also the Cinephiles and the Geek Buddies, all out there. My other podcast there for you all to enjoy. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will talk to you next time with another brand new episode of the Top 10. Peace. Bye.